over that film, I think just from a tackling standpoint, and the angles that were being taken. Any common denominator you saw there that can be corrected in the span of 1 week?
Yeah, I think so. I think just the emphasis and I think the more you see it, the more guys realize, okay, yeah, this was the poor angle. This is why this guy cut back on me, you know. So, and I think we got enough time right now to address that and practice it and get better at it. And I think our guys have learned from it. That's the thing, you know. Like they see the film, they've seen the mistakes, and now they got to go out there and starting tomorrow morning, we're going to go out there and start practicing it. And so, you know, it's something that the guys have made those tackles in the past. So that's why there's no need to panic right now. It's just the guys need to go out there and execute the things that they did in the past, and we'll be good with it.
How do you address a lack of physicality in a week of practice? Just a couple sessions you get, and is that a mental thing as much as it's a physical thing?
I think it's both. You know, I think you turn on the week game one, we showed a lot of physical clips of us being physical, right? And then obviously in week two, like this is not the standard right here, right? So I think the fact that we were able to stress this with and showing these guys that here's the proof that you've done it, this is the proof that you did not do it. You got to pick and choose which one you want to be. And I think, you know, we have strong leadership on our defense with some of our older guys, and I think they're going to choose to be the physical team that they know that they can be moving forward. So, you know, I think the biggest tools we can do is just show these guys, you know, like they like to watch TV and their videos and all that stuff. Well, here's the most, you know, influential video you got of yourself right now.
Another team that runs the ball well and a quarterback who's run the ball well this year. You're playing on Saturday. Mm-hmm. What do you have to do this week technically that you didn't do against Notre Dame?
I think just like going back to that last question, is we have got to embrace the physicality of stopping the run. You know, good teams, you know, run the football and stop the run, and we have to be able to line up. And they're going to try to line up in 12 personnel and try to run power football down our throats, and we have to embrace that challenge and say, let's go. So, you know, getting out tomorrow, it'll be a good tackle Tuesday, I think, you know. So just playing with extension, playing with our hands, and being able to get off blocks is going to be a big key to our success this week.
What do you get out of Earl Culp? I know he was missing part of camp, but now he's on the deeps, and obviously Anthony Brown being back too. Kind of switched up the depth chart in the secondary, it looks a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I think Earl comes from a really good program at St. Thomas Aquinas, you know, so he, you know, he's out for a little bit during fall camp, but he's back, he's healthy now. So I think, you know, having a standard of winning in his blood already, you know what I'm saying, like that gives him confidence to go out there and accomplish what he needs to do. And then, you know, AB's been around here since we've been here, and just shows to continue to embrace the role that he's had and get better at what he needs to do. So, you know, I'm anxious to see those guys in practice this week and see how they move forward.
I asked Graham this, but I'll ask you too. Last year you lose the season opener, then you go to Virginia Tech, I believe, and the team really got probably extended time to get to know each other a little bit in that locker room. But is there a benefit to going on the road, going across the country on a short week, and just getting away from everything that happened here on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think there's no better time to get out of town than right now. You know, and you know, obviously, you know, when we get out there, guys are going to be around each other a lot more. You know, that they're, you know, some of these guys have never been in the same room with each other for overnight. You know, so it's going to be fun to get to know each other that way. But so like to get out of town and to get into a different environment where it's us against everybody. You know, I think it's something that we're going to relish, and I think that's a good way for us to kind of move forward from this thing. You know, so I know everybody's anxious to get on that plane and get out of here.
Kevin, just the approach to dealing with quarterbacks who like to run the football. Mm-hmm. What's the defensive approach to that?
Yeah, you know, it adds another element, you know, and so you have to be able to play that +1 football, and for the stuff that we like to do, you know, we like to keep a guy in the middle of the field. So sometimes it's like, all right, well, we're going to pull him out of the middle, or we're not going to do that. So obviously there's a schematic challenge for what we have to do with it, but you know, you always got to account for him being your pass rush lane's got to be great. You know, your technique has to be perfect on the edges, because if you're one step too fast, now you're in a bad position to change direction and get back out to where you're supposed to be to go get him. You know, so it just adds an element of perfection of what your craft needs to be. Like, you have to be assignment football sound where the quarterback can run the football, and you got to be able to sometimes change the math and get off blocks and make a play.
In 2 weeks in, kind of assess KJ an inside linebacker.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, KJ has every tool you want at that position. You know, he's big, he's fast, he's physical. And you know, he continues to get better at seeing the game through an inside linebacker's eyes. You know, I think, you know, being able to play the entire field, he's learning how to do that, you know, rather than just one side and run into the football. It's a little more, it taxes you a little bit more when you got to run all over the field versus one side. So, but he's getting better at that part. I think the more he develops and just gets comfortable and like, you're going to see a big growth, I think, between now and the end of the season and what that guy can do at that position.
What did you need better Saturday, setting the edge on defense to not let them get outside with the way they did?
Yeah, I think, you know, like when you walk into our building, there's a sign that says "Do your job." You know, I think if guys just executed their job to, you know, whether it's coaching, whether it's players, you know, if we have guys set the edge and play with extension and get off blocks, then we don't have those issues that we had, right? And then, so I think once we've established that and guys are getting out there and knowing and understanding what role they have in this defense and to execute their job to set the edge, whomever that might be. It could be a corner, it could be a safety, it could be one of our rush ends, it could be a linebacker. You know, I think that's first and foremost. And then, again, just playing with physicality and getting off blocks. You know, guys are on the edge, but then they get stuck on a block where we just got outran, you know. So, like, there's a multitude of things that can go with that. But I think if understand where you are in our defense and your role in that particular play, the edge is going to get set.
Any more questions for Coach Kane? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.